Welcome, everyone. Today, we're diving into a story that's all about ambition, trust, and, well, just outright deception. It's a wild case that shows just how easily a convincing front can fall apart, leaving a whole lot of chaos behind. We're calling this one the designer deception.
So let's just get right to it. This sounds like something out of a movie, but I promise you it's very real. How on earth did a single B.Tech graduate manage to scam 20 different clients out of nearly a crore of rupees? Well, let's break down exactly how it happened. So, meet the man at the center of it all, Guru Alam. And get this, he's a B.Tech graduate. Now, that little detail isn't just trivia. It was basically the cornerstone of his entire scam. It gave him this built-in air of professionalism and expertise.
You know, to pull off a scam of this size, you need way more than just a good sales pitch. You've got to build an entire fake business, something that looks so real that people feel totally safe handing over their life savings for their dream home. And that is precisely what he set out to do. And this was the company iHome Master Private Limited. It sounds slick, right? Modern, professional, totally legitimate. It's the kind of name you'd see online and you probably wouldn't think twice about it. So how did they build this house of cards? Well, it was a pretty clever process. First, they ran a bunch of social media promotions to make themselves look super successful and busy. Then, to really hook a client, they do a small initial task just to prove they were legit. And all the while, Guru Alang himself played the part of the company director, constantly on the phone, reassuring clients that everything was going great. They were literally manufacturing trust. But see, building that trust was just the setup. The real fraud followed a very specific, repeatable plan. Let's dig into the anatomy of this thing. It was basically a scammer's 5-step playbook.
Okay, this is where it gets really methodical. Step 1. Secure a huge advance. We're talking 50 to 60% of the total cost right up front. Step 2 is, well, it's deviously brilliant. They'd send a crew to do some demolition. So not only did it look like work was starting, but it also totally trashed the place, making it impossible for the client to just hire someone else. Then, of course, came the endless delays and excuses, all while they were out finding new people to scam. And the final step? They just disappear, money and all.
But you can't keep a lie that big going forever, right? Eventually, the clients, who are sitting there with wrecked homes and empty promises, started to realize something was seriously wrong. And that was the turning point. That's when the demands for refunds finally began. And this is where you see their true colors. When clients made the completely reasonable request to get their money back, they weren't met with apologies or even excuses. Nope. They were met with verbal abuse and threats of dire consequences. The friendly professional mask didn't just slip, it was torn right off.
But you know what? Those intimidation tactics totally backfired. Pushed into a corner, one of the clients had had enough and went straight to the police. The second that formal complaint was filed, the clock officially started ticking on Guru Alam's entire operation.
And just like that, it all came crashing down. Guru Alam was arrested, and the police quickly figured out he wasn't some lone wolf. He was part of a 5-person gang. When they seized 6 computers and a mobile phone, it became obvious this was a coordinated digital operation. So with the ringleader in custody, investigators could finally piece together the true scale of this fraud. So let's take a look at the final tally, because the amount of damage they caused is, well, it's pretty staggering. As the police started adding up all the abandoned projects and broken contracts, the real size of the scam came into focus. The total amount of money they managed to walk away with was truly mind-boggling. 94 lakh rupees. That's almost 1 crore. Just let that sink in for a second. This wasn't some small-time con. It was a major criminal operation that preyed on people's dreams of having a beautiful home. But you know, a number that big, as shocking as it is, only tells you part of the story. The real impact is measured in the lives they turned upside down. All of that money was stolen from a whole lot of people. 20 different clients. That's 20 families who saved up their hard-earned money, put their trust in a professional, and were left with nothing but a wrecked house and a huge financial hole. Every single one is a story of trust just being shattered. And for what? This little detail from the police investigation might just be the most infuriating part of this whole thing. The reason for all this chaos, all this heartache, it wasn't some desperate situation. Apparently, the money was just spent on personal hobbies.
So when you boil it all down, the whole scam really stood on three legs: a degree that suggested he knew what he was doing, a company that looked the part, and a painfully simple playbook they could run over and over again.
And that leaves us with a really important question for all of us, doesn't it? This isn't just one story about one scammer. It's a wake-up call. In an age where anyone can build a slick website or a perfect-looking social media page, how do you actually verify someone's real expertise before we invest our trust and, more importantly, our money? It's definitely something to think about.